Hey all, so today I'm going to be talking about computer cases or computer chassis. And I know it's just what holds the components. It's really the most boring part of the system in a way. But one, it's what allows you to show off the system. For two, picking the right case, or more so not necessarily picking the right case as much as understanding what can make one case better than another can actually affect the performance of your whole system. And how that happens is with airflow. So how well can the case help with cooling your computer? Alright, so there's usually three different kinds of case in terms of how they help with airflow, and it comes down to where the intake of the case is. So some cases will have glass in front of where the intake is, others will have mesh, and others will have steel. And glass and steel have similar benefits and disadvantages. Air can't pass through solid objects, basically. So it's actually harder for a system to get enough airflow. And with a lot of steel panels, it is complete all the way around. The whole panel is made of steel and there'll be holes somewhere to allow airflow through, or some form of mesh where the fan is, which is actually better. But still, glass and steel, if it's the whole panel, and the steel would have little holes, can impede a bit. And there's some steel front panels on computers that have lots of holes in it. It's just there's more steel than holes, so the case is still choked. Basically, find a review of the case before you buy it. Now with glass, I've got a prime example, that being my computer, is, well, yes, it is being choked technically. There's actually gaps around it, and there's a massive gap underneath the panel of where air can get in. Now, when I first got the computer, the stock fans, the stock intake fans, were pressed up right against the glass, and that actually choked the system. So then I decided, you know what, let's put the fans back by 25 mil. So we'll put it back behind the bracket and allow for so much more airflow, to the point that I got the same cooling performance. The CPU was just as cool as what it was when the fans were in their original position, and I had the glass panel off. So fan placement can have a huge impact on how a system can cool itself if the front panel isn't helping. And then we get to mesh, and there's a few different types of mesh panel, but mesh is good because, well, it's not completely solid. So air can get through and it filters out the dust somewhat. So that's good. It keeps your PC cleaner for longer. Now, a good mesh panel is one that you can just take off easily. You can take the mesh out with no problems and clean it. Some mesh panels are are locked in with steel tabs and whatnot. The actual filtering part of the mesh is locked in with steel tabs, and you can only unbend them and bend them so many times before they break. So not the best solution. Key example is actually my girlfriend's PC. That's how the front panel is. It's mesh, but it's got tabs to hold the mesh in. So not the best, but it's not the most expensive case either. So now I want to talk about fans and computer cases, because lots of computer cases can allow for many fans. And the stock fans that a case usually comes with are not the best. They could be better. So it turns out, some of you may already know this, that just because your computer can fit, let's say, 8 fans, mine can very easily, that doesn't mean that the computer will be cooler than if it had 6 or 7 fans. So there's a point where you spending more money to put more in for performance sake isn't any better, but your computer might look nicer. A key example is, again, my computer. So when I changed all the case fans, the intake and the exhaust, to the Corsair Light Loop fans, and I also changed my radiator from a 280 to a 360, my cooling performance didn't really change all that much. Although, to be fair, I made the changes more for looks than performance. Now, fan placement can be a huge thing. Lots of PC cases have air come from the front panel. That's where the intake of most PC cases are. But some PC cases are different. they actually take air from the bottom of the case. And that air take from the bottom of the case being the sole intake. There's a few key examples. One I can think of at the moment, and I can't remember the name. I'll bring up a picture. I believe it's a Cooler Master case. And it's got, the front panel is just solid metal. There is no way air is going through that. But that's fine because the intakes are at the bottom and it uses partially convection. So you can have your exhaust fans at the top, you've got your intake fans at the bottom, and cold air will settle at the bottom. So the fans, cold air will go underneath the computer, the fans will suck it up and cool your system. And in fact, a system like that will actually work better for your graphics card if it is horizontally mounted. The traditional way of mounting a graphics card. And now speaking on convection assisted cooling, you got the Corsair One, that little desktop system, I don't know, probably about that big, if you can see my hands. And to my knowledge at the least, there's only one fan in that system. It's got a 9900K, it's got, I think a 2080 in it. So you're talking very hot parts, and they're on separate cooling loops. So it is on some form of water cooling. They've got their own AIOs per part. But with that one fan and using convection assisted cooling, so push the hot air or push the cold air up kind of thing. Do correct me if I've got the science behind it wrong, but I believe that it sucks the air up because hot air rises. So you're helping that air as it gets hot rise, and cold air settles, so you're sucking the air right from where it's coolest. So it's using that science to help cool the system, when in a normal computer case, you would need a lot more than just a fan and a small radiator to cool a 9900K. So yeah, that's really all I have for you today. This wasn't meant to be a video where I tell you, hey, don't buy this case or don't buy that case. More so, and I hope I've portrayed it, I may not have, and I do apologize for that if I have. More so, get whatever case you want. If there's a case that looks really pretty, get it. It's up to you. More so, just to note that if you want something that will help you with your performance, here are some things to look out for, even before you look at any form of reviews. Do look at reviews, help out a lot more because it's on a specific case. You can go, hey, how does this case go? But outside of that, this is more so a video of going, I am looking at a case at a PC shop and looking at it, how will it affect performance? If performance is an issue for you. So yes, that's all I have for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content by me, then hit that subscribe button somewhere below. Somewhere down there. And I really hope that you will join me in the next video I post. Again, thank you for watching. Bye.